Okay, guys, so can you please introduce yourself to Mr. Ankit Gupta? Nikita, starting from you, please introduce yourself.
Am I audible?
Your voice is low.
Hello.
Yeah, you're audible now.
Okay. Hello everyone. Myself Nikita Kiran Baise. I am currently in third year, pursuing my third year from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pune.
Oh, okay, Karan, please introduce yourself. Your voice is breaking. No, it's not clear. Okay, no issue, no issue. You can just keep your mic up. Okay, Shruti, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Shruti Kanade. I am currently studying in TE in Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pimpri. Thank you.
Okay, Akhilesh, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Akhilesh Maske and I am from Daya Patel Institute of Technology Pimpri and currently pursuing my second year in IT department.
Okay, Vaibhav, up to you. Please introduce yourself. Vaibhav, are you there?
Hi, myself Vaibhav, studying at third year, computer department.
Okay, Jiten, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, myself Zidan Khan, studying in Dr. Diva Patil Institute of Technology, currently in AIDS branch.
Okay, okay, I guess that would be enough. Okay, Ankit sir, so my first question to you is that I saw that you started your startup in the tea industry. So, what gap did you initially found that you wish to solve?
Right. So it was 2019, Vishal sir, if I'm not wrong, when we went to Singapore. And through learning while traveling, I had this opportunity to travel with around more than 70 people from all across India, from one of the premier institutes, including IITs and IIMs and various esteemed colleges. So I went there, and through the networking, I found there that tea is something which is widely accepted there, and it is one of the most it is one of the largest commodities which is being imported from India. So being a resident of India, when I networked with the local people out there, I found this gap, and residing in this part of the country in Calcutta, where we have lovely mountains nearby, and we have this tea plantation farmers near Darjeeling areas. They serve one of the finest teas in the world. So from there, this idea got up, and I started working on it. There were a lot of hurdles initially because you need to get a lot of licenses and a lot of trade agreements. So it took time, it took months, but yes, I mean, after a couple of months, it was a hard work well off paid. And currently, we have started exporting to Singapore, and we are getting a good business, and we are also looking to expand to Dubai soon. So this is how this idea came.
Vishal sir, do you want to ask any question?
Yeah, sure. So, Ankit, when you started this, what was the first few things you did, like in first 1 month or so? Because that's where a lot of people are very confused what to do in the first month or second month, etc. So, what are the steps to follow to start a company or a startup from your point of view or your experience, please?
That's a good question. So basically, I started researching. I researching on the business model. There is a very good, very fine business model called Business Canvas model. I will encourage all the budding entrepreneurs who are in this group listening to me. Kindly search it on YouTube, Business Canvas model, and you will get to know all the essentials which you need to start a business, from researching, from managing your product, to finding a client, to inventories, to logistics. Everything is there. So I would really encourage everyone, whoever wants to start a business, your 1 month, first initial months, it's very crucial, and you will get all your answers when you will be doing this business canvas model. So I try to connect the dots. I try to meet the suppliers. I try to meet the local farmers in the mountains. I try to have my own team of blending, the team which do the blending, and I was really fortunate to get one of the finest blending team. And then there comes packaging, working on packaging, licensing. So yeah, it was quite difficult, but thankfully there are some resources available online, like I mentioned, business canvas model and similar models which we can study. From there we can definitely solve these hurdles, the initial few months hurdles.
So, how did you manage to grow your business without any external funding? Because I saw it's a bootstrap startup.
So basically, it's my fourth startup, which I started in a bootstrap model. My very first was the travel startup company called easytraveler.com. So it was again a bootstrap startup. Then I again started another bootstrap startup in US, which was called Evolution Software Technologies, where we used to supply the health insurance leads to the agents there. It was again a bootstrap startup. Then again, the third one was linked to the Electric Car Works ECW, which again started by me and my one of the fellow guy whom I met through again learning while traveling when we were traveling to Singapore, and that was again a bootstrap startup. So yeah, and this one was the fourth one. So I I always, whenever I try to start something new, I never thought of taking money from outside, because if your product is great and if you believe in your product, I think you don't need an external funding. There are a lot of business opportunities nearby to you, and there are a lot of problems still existing in the society which you want to solve, and which I'm not saying that all the business they don't need the funding, but there are some business which you can grow without external funding, and I always advise not to take funding in the initial years. If it's possible, beg, borrow, not steal, but yeah, beg, borrow from your, maybe from your family, from your relatives, and start something of your own. If you have this desire, if you have a great product, you will definitely find a funding in a later stage. So always think of getting funded in the later stage, and always think of ideas which you can bootstrap and which you can start without waiting for someone to fund it, because then it will never happen. Lot of good ideas, they just die because people think that they're gonna start when they're gonna get some the they're gonna get some financial advisors or some sort of VC funding, angel investing. I'm blessed that I know a lot of people who are into the angel investing and VCs, but I always try to start without taking fundings from outside, at least for a couple of months initially, till the time you see your businesses growing. Maybe you can wait for years. You never know.
Sure. There is a question from Kunal. What is the minimum amount that we should have to start any kind of startup. So according to you, Ankit, what's your experience like? What's the minimum amount people should have to even jump into startup from your point?
See, it depends on the startup to startup. For according to me, what matters is your network, Kunal. Uh, Hardly the amount matters. You can start from zero. I have started all my business from zero. The only thing I initially needed was the networking which I got from traveling abroad, from meeting people there, meeting in a cold room where I was not knowing anyone, introducing myself, my company, making friendship with them, having tea with them the next day in their office. So, Kunal, my personal advice will be that it's not necessary to have a lot of money to start it, but according to your idea, you will get to know that there are few basic things which will be needing money. For example, registering a company and managing the trademarks if it's required. But it's always better to cut the overhead expenses. If there is something which you can do it yourself, try to avoid hiring people. Try to avoid hiring people who can do that minimal work which you can do yourself. So this will be my advice to you.
Sure. There is another question. What was your experience regarding building a team and then further handling them when they were given a specific role in the company? Okay, the name is not very clear. It's from Redmi Note 9. Someone.
So my name is Shripad.
Okay, sure. Yes.
Shipat. Shipat, the only thing which I worked on was building a great team, because you can never achieve your dream yourself. You have to get a proper team, and a team which has a similar level of desire to work on and to achieve that goal which you are seeing. So it's very important to get surround yourself with the like-minded people, the desire which you have in growing in your life further. Surround yourself with those people, and start building up a team. Start with finding a very good co-founder. Start with finding a very good co-founder, and then maybe you can brainstorm, maybe whatever the skills you think your team requires, you can start doing it. Internshala was one of the most craziest platform I have came across, and believe me, in the initial days, through very minimal pay, I got some amazing engineers, I got some amazing graphic designers, I got some amazing digital marketing people. So these are the platform through which initially you can build a team without incurring a lot of things, a lot of expenses. uh, Try to find the freelancing websites which I named. One of them was Internshala, so definitely you can try that out, and I think you will get benefited building a right team.
Yeah, and then there
Thank
is
you,
a
sir.
further question that how did you handle them? Like
Yeah, and handling them was a bit of a
after you
challenging
hire the
task
team,
for
is
me.
it
Yeah, because me being from Calcutta, what I remember, my first team, there were people from Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Ahmedabad. I was being surrounded with people from all over India. And when you work on a virtual mode, you don't have a command to see everything personally. So definitely, one thing you will be keeping in mind is, while going through the CVs, definitely see their work and how dedicated and passionate and punctual they are, and how disciplined they are. Because there was a problem with few, but we managed to go through. So yeah, always try to find the right people with a disciplined and with a right attitude, with the same burning desire to grow further. And because if and always keep striving and make them feel that if this company will grow, they will grow. If you will grow, then they will grow. So keep the motivation level up. Try to motivate them to do more, to achieve more, and through that, I guess, you will be in a better position to control the team in a very proper way.
okay, next question from Yash. How is the initial stage of startup according
Initial stage of startup, yes, will be always identifying the
to
problem.
your first few months or rather first year?
Yeah, sorry. Can you please repeat the question again? I think
Yeah.
I
So
missed
initial
few parts.
stage of startup, how is that experience? Like first few months, first 6 months, how was your
Right.
experience?
It's always thrilling. It's always thrilling because you are going to you. It's like traveling to an island without having a return, journey ticket. So it's like an adventure zone. It's like an adventure zone. You will be encountering with challenges every day, like building a team, finding a good marketing team, and then the production team. There are a lot of teams you will be surrounding with, and you will be the captain of that boat. You will be responsible to take that boat to that particular island. So you will be the captain, and so you will be having that responsibilities, and always, because you will be doing something new. A lot of people will be having their eyes on you, ki bhai kya kar raha hai ye banda, how will it be going? Because I think 80-90% of the startups, they fail. So a lot of people surrounding you will be thinking ki kya kar raha hai, and somewhere down the line there is a sense of discomfort. The guy who is starting the startup, they always think that what if we fail? This is something through which most of the people, they don't even get the courage to start, because they think what the society will be thinking, what the people around them will be thinking, their family members, their family, if they fail. So always, man, it was very challenging first few months. Most of my startup worked well. Most of the startups still struggling, but that's life. That's how you start. You should have a burning desire and a belief in your thought and in your idea. If you have it, then you can definitely nail it. It will be very an amazing journey, a beautiful journey, which you will cherish years later. You will cherish all those hard work, all those struggle which you have put into in those initial months. It will all get paid off later.
Next question we have from Ashish. Have you faced any failure? How did you come out of it? If yes, how did you come out of it?
And lot of failures, and entrepreneurs is, I guess, most of the entrepreneurs, their life and their journey is incomplete without failures. So there were a lot of times when my partners, they were not very friendly, or they did something which was not very ethical. But life goes on. You always believe that there is a law of karma, and there is a power somewhere above who will be controlling the things and will be getting those things right in your place later. So I was very fortunate that later I got saved. There were a lot of times when I thought of giving up. A lot of failures were there when so in the export business, when we used to send a lot of samples initially without knowing that if we'll be getting a good order. So lakhs and lakhs of money, it's just blown up. We sent samples to Amsterdam. We didn't get order. Yeah, I'm not a I'm not an high net individual with millions of dollars who can be just happy if I don't get business while sending a lot of samples abroad worth of lakhs. So I was a bit disheartened, but that's life. That's how you deal with the failures. You smile, and then you get that courage back to your life again, and then you hustle right the next day. So hustle is the only key to success. Failure is gonna come in everyone's life, but how you handle that failure defines you, and you can definitely overcome that.
Sure, sure. Okay, next question we have is, did your parents supported you in doing a startup or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I was blessed with the lovely family, with my parents supporting me every time. uh, I know there were time when I lost a lot of money. I borrowed a lot of money from my one of my family members, and then I was not able to pay them because of some unforeseen circumstances. Like there was some issues, but yes, I mean, there, even those people, they were always supporting me. They were the strength of pillar. Whenever you start something new, you have to get surround yourself with those people. Your family members should always be supportive, and so your friends and your community people. It's very important, because whenever you feel low, you can have this sense of feeling that there is something who's holding your back. you know there is someone there who won't let you your boat sink. So there will be someone who will be rescuing you down the line. So that sense of comfort I was definitely having, and I'm really grateful to my family for that.
Sure. Next
Yeah.
question we have is, in the initial stages, it is quite hard to convince people, customers, for a product which is new, not really
Yeah.
helpful maybe, or people don't understand and they don't want to change. So how did you handle that kind of situation? How did you find that product market fit or initial 100 customers or something?
So, given my case, my example, when I started Valenti company, I used to export to Singapore. In 2019, I came back to India, and then this lockdown happened. My partner, he's a Singaporean, and he's controlling the Singapore market. So I was blessed enough to just relax here and look after the production department. So one of the problem which so what thought of doing was to grab this local Indian market, because there were a lot of Indians who were living abroad who came to India, and they were having this they used to have this various kinds of teas are there abroad, which is not very popular in India. Like, to name few, there's blue tea, there is white tea, oolong tea, English breakfast, Earl Grey, Hoji cha, Janmai cha. There are Japanese blends out there. So I thought, why not to start this here in India, and why not to start the domestic market? And when I used to, the all the the influential people and the people from the affluent families, they used to know this, but not the people from the middle class. So sometimes it was very difficult for them to understand what exactly the blue tea is, and they were like, okay, the tea can be blue, right? Okay, we can drink tea without adding sugar and milk in it. ऐसा भी कोई चाय होता है क्या? And then I started giving samples to them, and I started acquiring customers. So first 100 customers I got acquired was through samplings, through family and friends, through mouth of words. It really helped you a lot.
Sure. Okay, we have another question from Akhilesh. Is, at the initial stage, what are the basic startup problems? So I think you might have answered this in bits and pieces, but maybe you can uh, summarize it again. What are the basic problems that you faced according to your experience in your first few months, first few years rather?
So yeah, the first few months, definitely. I won't say first few years, because then the problem will be very huge to solve. So we always try to solve the problem in the initial months if it's possible. So definitely building team was a bit challenging. Managing a team where the team members are coming from different states of India, it was very challenging. Definitely, uh, finding a right team is very important for your company, and it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time and courage, and also luck. Luck plays important role, definitely. And there is a very proper time of a particular startup or a particular idea to get into. So if you find that time, and through which you can just get on board, there is a lot of chances that you're gonna make it big. There's a lot of chances that you can really capture the market, and you can overcome all those hurdles which you think that you might be having in those initial months. So building a team is a very, very important thing, which I will tell everyone, to always identify the best people in your team, to hire best, to recruit best, who share the same vision, the same burning desire which you have, the same passion to grow together. To always keep that in mind.
Niketan is asking, what can we do in college time so it will help startups? I mean, it might help them to start a startup in future, or what can a college student do according to your view?
Nikitan, I will say that always start small, always think big, and the college time is very crucial. I will tell all my fellow college mates that this is very beautiful time which you can think of. If you want to start something, start idealizing the business, start thinking of the what you say. You can start doing the homework. You can start doing the homework of whatever your plan is of doing in the future. You can think of it. You can do the research work. You have got an ample of time in the college to identify some problem, to work on it, to see if your idea is really validating. You know what the problem I came across? Lot of startup enthusiasts, they come up with me with a very, they think that it's a very good idea and they can change the world and everything. But you know, there is an important lesson which I want to share, that always validate your idea. Whatever idea you think is great, always it does not, it's not always great. So validate that point by discussing it with your mentors. Always have a mentor with whom you can discuss this. There are a lot of groups like this, and there are various organizations which you can join, and you can always share your ideas and you can validate them, that is it really worth giving it a try? Because you know, sometimes what you think is not always right. So validating is something very important which you can do while studying in college. You got an ample of time, do the research work, do the validation, and after months you think that yes, there is still a need in the society for this idea. Then you can definitely start working on it after the college. So always do the homework, and this is the best time to do the homework before you get into the field.
Even building team can be done at the college time because you are surrounded by too many people, and you can have your potential partner right from the college
Absolutely, completely agree.
to
Yes,
the
sir.
initiative.
I have one question for you. That is, how do you motivate your team and manage them to do the work? How do you, I mean, manage your employees and motivate them to do the work?
Man, managing employee and motivating them is a, it's a very broad term. You know, it's always hard to motivate a team. But when you have a very proper set of a team, when you, in the very beginning, you scrutiny their CVs and you get the best of the and when you get the best of the best of the people out there in your team, it gets very easy for you to manage it. It gets very easy for you to uh, to tell them what to do and what not, because always try to get someone who is acting like a boss and not as an employee, or an employer. So you know, your employee, whenever you have this opportunity of selecting an employee, always look the qualities of the employer in them. Always, you know, look after this qualities, that what if I give them the key of this business, will they be able to handle it? Will they be able to control whole company? If your answer will be yes, hire them, and it will be very easy to, you know, motivate them. Because I was very lucky to always select the best of the people who were already very motivated. And believe me, if you feel that, you know, they are not motivated, it's better to leave them and find an alternate, because there is a, you know, it's a waste of time to motivate them. If they are not motivated initially, you cannot motivate them later. You cannot change someone's nature. It's as simple as that. And if you are trying to change it, you are putting your a lot of energy and time into it, which you could have done in your in putting in your startup, and you could have achieved a higher goals. So it's better to just leave them. You know, there is a policy which Tesla applies, like they don't take a bullshit. So if they are not motivated, the Tesla, they just fire them. They don't care for them to they don't have a team who motivate their, you know, employee, or try to motivate them. They don't do that. If you are doing if you're not doing your job good, go back home. So this should be something which I think I learned from Tesla, and I will tell everyone to apply while, you know, selecting a good team member. And if you, and unfortunately, if you don't get a good people, identify them, give them a chance. Maybe you can tell them, and then if the same thing happens, then maybe just fire them. There are a lot of people out there in line who wants to work for you.
The next question we have from Kunal again. So according to you, what it means to be a successful in life? Is it money or any other factor?
Definitely money was something which was influencing me, because I used to always take a lot of vacations abroad. And I remember the first startup which I mentioned earlier, the travel startup. I was on the beaches of Thailand, wondering कि भाई dad के पैसे से तो काफी ऐश कर रहे हैं, but you know, I should have something of my own. I was having this desire of having a nice fancy car and going on vacations abroad twice a year. And so these burning desires was there in my mind, which helped me starting the startup, and I never settled. So when my first startup was settled, it was doing good. I never settled for that. I started another one. I grew another one. I started building another team. So there was a burning desire in me, and yeah, the monetary factor is there, but not that was the money thing was not the only thing which I was keeping in mind while working for it. There was some essential things which happiness cannot buy, but money can. So like vacations, having a good car, having a good life, buying whatever you can without looking at that price labels. So those factors were there, but definitely there was an urge of solving a problem in the society, identifying a need which was missing. So I just worked on it, and thankfully I'm doing great.
Sure. Okay, there is an interesting question here. Ki, that when you hire a team and they are working for, let's say, first 6 months, 1 year, and after that they start demanding for more money, or some of them start demanding for more money, and but the business profit is not enough to probably meet their demands. So in this real situation or a hypothetical situation, what would you advise the founder, or have you faced?
And if you think that that particular person is bringing a lot on your table, it's worth keeping them. Maybe you can offer them some stocks, you can offer them stock options. That is one of the things. When the company is not doing great and you still feels that that particular person is very important to your company, you can offer them the stock percentage of your company, which is a very good way of controlling them and still motivating them to work for your company. I think they will work more if they get a certain percentage of your company. So I think that answers your question.
Okay. So another question: what type of books you read, or do you read books at all?
I have around 200 books, but unfortunately, ek bhi pura nahi pada. So I have all the books starting from Harvard Business School to some self-help books like The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma and Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I read these books, but you know, uh, I'm not very much into it. But yes, reading books is always it's a good option. I have heard a lot of people they read books for hours a day. So I don't know.
So
I'm
I'll
not
give
a
another
right
advice
person
here.
to answer that question.
If you are not reading a book, just watch YouTube videos, because those videos
Just
are
watching
very.
YouTube motivational thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. I'm not sure if I've missed any of their episodes, so it's there on the YouTube, and I will advise everyone to watch Shark Tank. It will really help you guys. It will boost your morale, and definitely you will learn a lot from them.
Sure. Okay, another question from Akhilesh. What is the time period from idea to startup according to you? I mean, or in your experience rather?
Sir,
You
you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. So I think it all depends on the idea. You need to idealize it, you need to validate it. As soon as you think that you are perfect enough, just do it. According to the book I was reading, it's called The Intelligent Entrepreneur by Harvard Business School. They said there comes a time when your idea gets changed at least 4 times. So your that initial idea cannot be perfect. You need to mold it and then mold it again and then again and then again, and on an average a startup, they mold their initial ideas by at least four times. So always be sure ki whatever you think your idea will be, you will have to modify it in a later stage, or maybe you can make that better by adding some elements to that. So take your time, do the research work, do the groundwork, and validate it, discuss it with the people out there, start a sampling thing. Always starts I tell everyone, always start small. Start small, maybe you can start with a sampling plan. Start with a very small bunch of people. Look if your idea is getting validated or succeeded. If there is some problem, take their suggestions, and then definitely you can start growing it slowly by slowly.
Okay, there is another question from Smita. How do you manage competition in the market?
Managing competition, definitely. When I started my business in Singapore, there were already established player like TWG, who are like the world leader in the tea brand. So in India, there were some exquisite tea players like Vadam and Tata Tea. They started getting into the exquisite tea, but they are mostly into the normal tea stuff. So definitely, I have not always looked after my competitors. I was more determined on my product and the problem which I thought I'll be solving. And so I was more concerned on my product to make my product better, to make it more reachable to my target customers. So definitely you study your competitor, take the best of them and infuse in your startup. This is how you can benefit.
Okay, next question from Varsha. What is your greatest fear and how do you manage fear? Since there are
Sorry, I don't know what my greatest fear is. Maybe getting a wrong person on board nowadays after after having few very bad encounters. Maybe that's the only fear I have. But you start learn by improving your selections and getting nicer people on board, the people who are there with you on your lows and highs. So that's it.
The only thing you should fear is fear itself.
Maybe.
yeah, no, I think that's a good point. Getting a bad team member can be a greatest fear for many founders at least, because then it gets very hard to handle those people, and then this hiring firing is a lot of pain actually. And every time you do this, you lose a lot of time, and the time is obviously it has a money value, so you lose a lot of money also indirectly. Okay, Ranjan Kumar Gupta. Okay, you are raising your hand also, so maybe you can unmute and ask, please.
Hi, Ankit sir. Hi, Vishal sir. How are you? And thank you. I'm trying to meet Ankit Bhaiya on the call. I have a question with Ankit sir. What is the main reason you shut down the startup in 2 to 3 years in India? What is the main reason for these things? And another thing, sir, in my mind, I have a question. Many of times the startups owner and the startup founder and co-founder becomes worry about their salaries and worry about their future. That times, how will we motivate yourself and our team members?
All right. So the first question was why the startups fail in the initial 2-3 years. I guess I answered it before, that many people think that their idea is great and it can solve the problem in the society, and they will be changing the world completely and they will be becoming millionaires and maybe next Amazon. But the thing is that they don't do the market research properly, they don't validate their ideas, and sometimes they don't surround themselves with the best people. Sometimes the best idea, it gets thrashed just because you don't have a very proper networking. You are not surrounding yourself with the people who can support that and who can guide you up. So initial couple of years, I've seen a lot of startups actually, they were really good, but just because of lack of funding or just because of lack of support from the market or from the society, it got shut. And coming to the next question, I think when you start a startup, you never think of money. I have never thought of getting money from the day one. It was like buying a jackpot ticket. If that ticket gonna come, you gonna win the lottery. If not, then it's fine. But you will have to put a lot of like, you give your 100% dedication, 100% efforts, and not always look for the profits from the day one. And even if And from the next 2-3 years, if the things are not improving, then definitely there is something wrong with the startup, and you need to think of it again. You need to think of your idea. So this is it. I mean,
Yeah,
it happens. It happens.
thank you so much, sir. It's helpful for me. Thank you so much.
Sometimes it's also the patience of the people. Some things might take like 5-10 years, but people just give up in 1 year or 2 year maybe.
नहीं, हम लोग के इंडिया में क्या है कि स्टूडेंट्स लोग जो यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है ना, वो थोड़े से पेशेंस को लेके थोड़े से शायद वो है, थोड़े से माइनस में है. सो दे वांट एवरीथिंग लाइक क्विकली कि भाई आई वांट टू बाय अ कार इन अ नेक्स्ट कपल ऑफ इयर्स, या फिर फैमिली की तरफ से प्रेशर है, जॉब कर लो, नहीं तो फिर या 2 साल में अगर पैसे नहीं आए तो बेकार है 2 साल. तो डेफिनेटली आई थिंक किसी ने पूछा था कि कॉलेज में क्या करना चाहिए. I think it's a best time when you can even think of that idea and even kickstart it. Get a team and kickstart it. कि college तक अगर तुमको नहीं लगा कि if that idea is not working, at least you have a proper the job thing is always there. But ये जो थोड़ा सा क्या बोलते हैं adventure है, you can do while you are in college. I guess this is the best time when no one will be judging you, no one will be saying you कि भाई job कर ले, पैसे नहीं आ रहे. You will be getting support of your family as well. खाने का टेंशन नहीं, रहने का टेंशन नहीं है. Still, it's a very golden opportunity. So always try to follow your passion and भाई कर लो. Just do it. उतर जाओ मैदान में, बाकी सब कुछ अपने आप हो जाएगा. There will be a lot of challenging times, but अगर आपने वो पैशन ही फॉलो नहीं किया ना, तो इट विल बी ऑलवेज अ ड्रीम. जस्ट इमेजिन 30 years डाउन द लाइन आप सोचते कि यार उस टाइम पे अगर मैंने थोड़ा हिम्मत कर लिया होता स्टार्टअप का, जो मेरे पास आइडिया थे, आई कुड हैव बीन इन अ वेरी बेटर पोजीशन, या फिर कुछ मतलब एक अंदर में कम से कम एक वो नहीं रहता कि यार नहीं किया, थोड़ा सा खराब नहीं लगता. एटलीस्ट यू हैव गिवन अ ट्राई. नहीं हुआ, बट एक रिग्रेट जो है वो नहीं रहेगा आपको कभी भी. गिल्टी फील कभी नहीं होगा. आई हैव ट्राइड एवरीथिंग व्हिच आई वांटेड, बी इट एनीथिंग. मैंने तो जो स्टार्टअप्स बोले उसके अलावा मैंने काफी कुछ किया. सो ऑलवेज मेरा एक चीज रहेगा कि कम से कम मैंने कोई भी अपॉर्चुनिटी छोड़ा नहीं. I never left anything which I wanted to do. I have tried everything, and I'm really happy that I at least experienced, which made me grow as a person. I'm not an MBA person, or I'm not an engineer. I have always wanted to be an engineer, but मेरे उतने अच्छे मार्क्स नहीं थे 12th में, तो इंजीनियरिंग करना वो नहीं था मेरे लिए सुटेबल. मेरे को कोई कॉलेजेस भी नहीं लेते वैसे. बट ऑलवेज देयर वाज अ थिंग कि आई हैव ऑलवेज गिवन इट अ ट्राई. आई हैव ऑलवेज ट्राइड. नेवर माइंड आई फेल्ड लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, बट वो जो लेसन्स हैं वो शायद मेरे को एमबीए क्लासेस में भी वो शायद लेसन्स नहीं मिलते. एंड आई एम वेरी फॉर्चुनेट कि मुझे अभी एमबीए कॉलेजेस से बुलाए जाते हैं लेक्चर्स के लिए. टू दे इनवाइट मी टू organize, they invite me for the events. So I always feel proud कि I have achieved something, I have learned something, and I have gained that much of experience कि people think कि हाँ भाई he's worth sharing the experience.
Sure. Okay, next question, I think interesting question. How do I determine whether I am capable of starting a business? How to self-evaluate?
You need to answer yourself. You need to answer yourself. If you are not confident enough, then no one will be helping you out.
I think we can determine that just by starting. When we start, then only we can figure out if you are capable or not. That's the best answer, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, the only way to find out is to start. Okay, how were you in college or school life? A good student, topper student, or a backbencher?
Absolutely backbencher. I scored 45% in 12th. So you can imagine the kind of a guy I am. But fortunately, I bounced back in college. I was a topper, but that's a different case. I joined commerce, and then from engineering, in 12th, I was a science student. So from say organic chemistry to debit credit, it was a big swing. First year in college was a big mess. Second year, I started gaining the accounting thing, and then in the third year I was a topper. Fortunately, I worked hard, and it feels good that your hard work pays off. So you can say backbencher plus topper, dono ek sath.
Okay, I think a follow-up question from him only, Kunal. Should we start business by first doing job and saving some capital, or directly jump into this?
I think you can definitely think of your idea if it's viable enough, and it doesn't take a lot of capital. You can think of it. You can think of it without doing the job. Yeah, I mean, you can always do job later, but if there is something, am I audible?
Yes,
Am
you
I
are
audible?
audible, sir.
Sorry, my phone was it was 1%, so I got to grab the charger. Fortunately, I got. So, can you hear me, guys?
Like
Yes, sir.
breaking maybe.
Oh, I think there's some issues.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
get your charger. Yeah, I think his battery
Yeah,
is almost.
perfect. Yeah, now I can hear you clearly. So yeah, so definitely, I mean, it that again depends on your idea. If your idea needs a lot of capital, if you think that your idea needs a lot of capital, then definitely I always tell my budding entrepreneurs that start with a job, start saving little money, uh, put it into your dream, and maybe once you think that, but it never happens. Yeah, once you are in a rat race now, once you get into a job, you get into a comfort level of going to the office at 9 and coming back at 5, having a luxurious life, getting your salary on first of every month. The motivation gets dropped. I'm really not sure. I've seen a lot of people who were actually thinking that they will be starting the startup after a few years of job. They will be savings a little. Never happened. Most of them, they are just happy with the job. They lost their dream. And after years, when I ask them about it, they are like, so I'm having a good life. I think this was something I always strive for. So you never know, that person who is earning a 30,000 a month could have earned 3 lakh or 30 lakh a month. So he got stuck in a rat race. Everyone got stuck in a rat race, especially in India. And here the ecosystem is like that. Where we are stuck in a rat race. We don't think out of the box. We just think of completing our degree, getting a good job at some MNCs, getting placed at TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and then having a regular life, comfortable life. So I think just start it. If you have an idea, if you think that has got a potential, if you have done the ground check, let's just jump into it. Everything will get falls in its place. I have started Bootstrap. I think if I have done it, I think anyone can done it. I did not take even a single penny from anyone initially, and I proved it that it can be done. It's not something which you just hear from the people. I'm the live example. And if you want to know more, you can connect me anytime. I think I will be really glad to assist you out with how I did and what it all takes to start something without, thinking of getting into a job, saving a little bit, and then thinking of starting your own.
Sir, I have one question regarding this. That is, let's say a person want to start a business in a particular industry, let's say travel industry. So does that person needs to have, 4 to 5 years of experience as an employee in that industry and then start, or can he start by just learning the basics?
See, there are two aspects. You need to ask yourself, are you going to start a startup or are you going to start a company? If you are going to start a company which is already there in the market doing the similar things, definitely then working for them for a couple of years helps you a lot in getting the market, in getting how the operation works. But if you want to start a startup, what is startup is bringing a disruptive idea in a society which is not there before. For that, I think there is no necessary to work in a similar field to do that, because you are solving a problem which is not there, a solution which is not there in the society. You are the one who is the torch bearer. You are the one who will be solving that problem. So rather than, you again have to ask this question to yourself: are you planning to start a business, or are you planning to start a startup? If you are planning to start a business, say like anything like Make My Trip, then definitely working for Make My Trip helps. 2-3 साल काम करके you will get to know कि उनके operations कैसे हैं, how they push their sales, how they do their business. you will get a fair idea, and then you can start a small business like Make My Trip. But if you want to have something, maybe want to infuse Airbnb with Make My Trip and want to get something which Make My Trip don't do, then maybe I don't find there is any point of working for them. You can start it then and there.
Sure. Okay, one more question we have. What is good financial freedom or financial security? And like they're saying, this financial security in the job, how can we get financial freedom? So according to you, what is financial freedom?
Sir, you're muted.
Financial, being financial free for me was always fulfilling my dreams of taking vacations, of always taking off whenever I can, of buying a nice car and a nice home, and purchasing, going on shopping without looking at the labels. I remember when I was in college, I wanted to buy a particular car. I was not having money back then, so I used to go to the showroom just to get the feel and touch of that car, and without having even 1/10 of what it used to cost, I used to just go and take a test drive, and used to feel good that I was getting motivated that someday I'm gonna buy this, someday I'm gonna come back to this showroom again and purchase this car. So that desire was always there. So financial freedom was something, for me was like, buying that particular car, or going on your particular vacation, on your dream vacation. Or I was very fortunate to work on it, and I achieved few. There are few still remaining. Hopefully in the next couple of years, maybe I'm planning hard to get those things covered up. But for me, those were my financial freedom thing, and not asking people about money for my startups. Of course, my next startup, I'm going to fund it myself. No more finances or VCs or angel investing.
There's one more question. How do you give stocks to your employees or your partners? So, you're muted.
Sir, you're muted.
Sorry. So for me, I never give the stock options to my employees. I always try to pay them. But for the partners, yes, if your partner is doing a job which you cannot do, and you think that your partner is bringing a lot to the business, then definitely you should not worry of giving them more. There was a time when I gave more percentage of a business to a partner just because he was financing on a later stage. So I never thought ki I will be holding a minority stake in the company. Should I give him more percentage because he's bringing a lot of expertise and he's bringing a lot of funds? I did it. I did it. And even that 20% which you holds can be a good sum later. And if you refuse that deal, maybe the kind of the growth which your company needs, it cannot achieve. So always think of the situation. If you think that, okay, if that's gonna benefit you, if that even 20% can be that 10 lakh, after this funding, or after this percentage of share which you are giving to the partner, don't hesitate to do that. I was very happy to do it, and I don't regret it.
Sure. Arita, let me ask another question then. So there is this financial literacy which is probably missing in most people, because that is not part of the subject in our school syllabus, or probably in college syllabus, maybe except for commerce student who might do a bit of it. So in this lack of financial literacy, most people in India are probably financially illiterate. And like a lot of engineers think that they'll do startup, this, that, launch a product, and the next day they'll become a billionaire or raise a billion, etc. So, in your case, how did you gain your financial literacy? When was the time you started learning about these financial terms, etc., and cash flow, profit loss? How was that journey for you?
So initially, I started reading the book. Uh, there is a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Please, everyone in this group, I encourage everyone to buy that.
Yeah, I've read
Please
it
read it.
already.
Please read it. You have read it. Wow. Then again, I think you have got a decent idea of what finance
Yeah,
is all about
asset
and everything,
liability. Yeah, yeah.
right? Asset liabilities, cash flows. I encourage everyone, every engineers in this group who really wish to get into the startup, who want to gain this financial knowledge, kindly do it. Second thing, I've always believed if you don't have something, find your co-founder who has that. अगर आप कुछ चीज में अच्छे नहीं हो ना, या तो अपने को फाउंडर वैसे बनाओ जो कि वो उसमें ही इज लाइक अमेजिंग, ही डू अमेजिंग जॉब, और hire someone who do that job best, that job which you cannot do. So through this you can definitely work on this, but always try to read a lot of books based on the financial thing. Always see a lot of YouTube videos, Shark Tanks. There are a lot of podcasts out there who teaches you on the financial thing, so you can do that. And always read books. There are plenty of self-help books out there you can read, and you can get a proper knowledge of it.
An interesting journey you have, and all the advices being shared with all our audience.
Pratik sir, what is the real meaning of the entrepreneur? Because right now I have seen a lot of the person who told like I'm entrepreneur. What is the real meaning of the entrepreneur?
So Ranjan,
Meaning of entrepreneur.
an entrepreneur is someone who don't say people that he's an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who struggles, who hustles, and who thrives, who try to achieve his goals, and who never say that he's an entrepreneur. I really, I sometimes I feel amazed when people, they say that, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, they don't know the real essence of entrepreneur, and a true entrepreneur will never say on stage that he's an entrepreneur. So see, you need to hustle. The true entrepreneur, they hustle a lot, they cry a lot, they don't get upset on the failures, they try to find new ways to come up, they try to do anything which makes them success. So definitely, I think this answers your question. It was a very sensational topic. I could have said much, but I think this is it.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So that is, you see, in order to become a successful entrepreneur, do you need to master the art of selling, the skill of selling? Because you see, selling is something, it is very tough job. It is not for everyone. So do you think one person who is very poor at selling is not capable to become an entrepreneur?
The person who is very poor in selling, I won't say that person to fail. I will say to get a job which will feel him the sense of rejection. Always do something which will be giving you an essence of rejection. That doesn't mean that एक कोई प्रपोज अ गर्लफ्रेंड, मतलब एक ऐसी लड़की जो कि ना कर दे, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट नो, मतलब दैट रिजेक्शन इज समथिंग, वो काफी टाइम लगेगा उभरने में. बट डेफिनेटली इफ यू आर वेरी बैड इन सेलिंग समथिंग, गेट अ जॉब जिसमें रिजेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा है, एंड after maybe few months you will master that, that sense of rejection thing, in which maybe in a later stage of life you will be more tough, you will be more mature to handle that situation, to handle that rejection. But start it whenever. If you are in college, do it. Maybe join something, maybe sell something which gives you a lot of rejection, which is the product which is very competitive to sell, and you will get this answer. Because I won't say my friends to always fail. It's not good to fail, believe me. It pains. Whenever I fail, it pains. It's good to say that now that I have achieved a lot, I'm having a good life, having a nice car, and living a very comfortable life. But still I don't want to experience the failure. right? I have experienced it initially, but now is not the time. It's been 10 years since I'm doing it. Now I cannot think of, meeting failure. No, not now. Initial days, it's fine. Do it. Get failure. Propose that girl, get rejected, it's fine. Even if you want to do it, just do it. Chalega. Want to do something which you're going to fail, do it. But get hands-on experience initially before getting into the startup. Build yourself, build yourself up, build yourself strong enough to cope up with the failure. But don't expect ki, it's the failure is good. It's not good. It's not good. It's very hard. But every entrepreneurs, it's in the life of every entrepreneurs. You cannot just ignore failure. It will be happening every now and then, but try to avoid it. If you're a lucky guy who can avoid the failure, nothing is like that. I mean, it will be fun, man. I really wish to hear a story of someone from this group who will be making it big without, experiencing failure. I really wish to hear that story one day.
One of the last question from my side. Sorry, it's already 11, but it's the last question. What is the difference between the entrepreneur and businessman? Because you are already, yeah, carry on, please.
Yeah, because I came from a business background, so I think I'm in a very proper position to answer this question. So a business is something which is already going around in the market. A lot of people are doing it, like maybe having a shop of similar items or selling something which the other companies are selling. So it's like a rat race, and it's like a marketing, capturing the market share of that particular product which you are selling. That's business. Entrepreneur on the other side is hustling. Entrepreneur on the other side is finding a niche, finding a need in the society, working on that challenge to make your idea turning into reality, making your startup grow, making your idea grow, that idea which is not there in the society. So entrepreneurship is something you are doing which is not anyone doing currently. You are the first one who is doing that. You are the first one who is solving that problem. That is entrepreneurship. And the person who's do it, he's called the entrepreneur. In the real sense, that person is called the entrepreneur, the person who identify the problem and works to solve it. A businessman, on the other hand, is something who is just minting the money. पैसे आ रहे हैं, माल बेच रहा है, पैसे आ रहे हैं, घर में रख लिया. A businessman, there is a big difference between the entrepreneur and a businessman and an industrialist. Industrialists and businessmen they are already there in the market. बहुत सारे हैं जो कि similar चीज कर रहे हैं. But entrepreneurs वो चीज करते हैं जो कोई नहीं करता है. वो चीज करते हैं या वो चीज आइडेंटिफाई अपना जो भी उनका स्टार्टअप है वो सोचते करने का जो कि आज तक किसी ने नहीं सोचा है वैसा करने का. So this is the major difference between them.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure, and it's good to see you, Ranjan.
Yeah, it's so good to see you.
Okay, guys. So thank you very much, Ankit, for all the questions and answers and sharing your experience. And I hope a lot of youngsters and budding entrepreneurs can learn a lot from this session. And we'll upload a recording of this session over YouTube.
Yes, I will send it to you. I will send the recording to you.
Sure. So,
and thank you so much for inviting me on this stage. I hope we will get really amazing entrepreneurs who won't call themselves entrepreneurs, but they're gonna hustle and work in silence to make their dream into reality. And I'm looking forward to hear the success stories and keep thriving. And please never think of getting funding initially from outside. That is gonna stop your dream of making it into the reality. Start it, jump on the ground, start it, get broke. No, even if you don't get sleep well, just do it, but start it. You are in college, this is the perfect time when no one will be asking of your failure. Even if you fail, no one will be questioning you, but this is the time. This is the right time you guys have. I missed this time. I started my startup after the college, but you guys have this golden opportunity to start right now.
I have shared the Ankit's LinkedIn profile in the chat box, so please feel free to connect with him for further guidance or questions.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
everyone.
much. Thank you.
Good night. Have a
Bye bye.